Pobierz aplikację TVP Sport i oglądaj wszystkie transmisje w najlepszej jakości. Linki do sklepów znajdziesz w opisie.
Matty Cash, 15-krotny reprezentant Polski, piłkarz Aston Villi, jest naszym gościem. Dzień dobry, Matty, good to have you here.
Dzień dobry, thank you for having me, guys.
How are you, Matty? Because you picked up an injury recently against Bournemouth and you were out of the games against Tottenham and Club Brugge in the Champions League.
It was annoying, really, because obviously I was feeling good, I was playing games, and I was looking forward to the international as well, to be in consideration to hopefully get a call up. But yeah, obviously in football, part of the game is you get injuries. So I was very disappointed. But obviously, yeah, now obviously I'm feeling good. But yeah, probably a week too late, which was really annoying and frustrating.
And what kind of an injury it was? Recently it was hamstring last time, and now? It was a muscle,
I had the hamstring,
I guess.
And to be honest, yeah, the first time I ever had the calf injury was I done it in Poland. So yeah, I think the change of pitch is, for me, wasn't very good at the time, and obviously ever since I had the calf injuries, I've had a few little problems with the calf. But I'm feeling strong, you know. I'm feeling much better now. I had the hamstring injury at the start of the season, and yeah, that was a couple of weeks, and now, yeah, I mean, this one's only been 2 weeks, so not too bad. But I'm feeling good, and hopefully now, fingers crossed, I can go without the whole season without an injury.
Yeah, it will be pretty nice. You mentioned consideration to call up. We heard in Poland that there was a contact from the coaching staff, and they were asking you, is there is a possibility for you to come to the national team camp? Is it true?
No.
No.
The doctor called me and said to me, he asked me about the injury and asked me how I was feeling, but all that I got text was, the doctor and then one of the coaches text me just to ask how my injury was and how I was feeling. But I still didn't know if I was going to come to the camp. Nobody said to me if I was fit, I would be there. No.
So it was like you feel like you were under consideration, or it was like, you know, just a question about your healthy?
Well, to be honest, I hadn't been in the last camp, so obviously I was fit before, you know. In the Euros I was fit, the camp after that I was fit and raring to go, and I didn't get a call up. So if I could say if I was under consideration, maybe, but then I had times in the past for the Euros, and as I said then, the one after that, where I didn't get a call up, so maybe not.
Yeah, so the situation looked like you still aren't in touch with the first coach of the national team, with Michał Probierz. Since when? No. I'm curious.
The last time
since March, and Estonia, your last appearance.
Yeah, to be honest, I mean, for me and the coach, it's a personal thing. I don't want to come out and say in interviews when I was the last in contact. I think when you have contact with the manager, it's personal, you know. I don't need to go and tell everybody what the conversation was or when we had contact. Yeah, but no, I haven't had contact with the coach, and obviously the coach he's got things to do, you know. He's obviously busy. He's got loads of players. He can't reach out to every single player, so I'm not expecting that, you know. So yeah, we haven't had contact in a little while for whatever reason. Yeah.
But he has also a coaching staff which can contact the players, for example.
Yeah, and that's exactly, for example, I was in contact with the assistant manager before, but we haven't been in contact recently in the near future. So yeah, I haven't spoke to any of them, no, in months, before the Euros.
It's been quite some time since you last appeared in the national team. It was March 21st, game against Estonia, or playoffs for the Euros. You picked up the injury then in that game. So are you thinking sometimes, why is that? Why I am playing regularly in the Premier League football, and then when I see the list of the call-ups, I'm not in there?
Yeah, I think every player wants to play and represent the country, you know. It's fantastic, like coming over to Poland and playing for the country is amazing. I've said in loads of interviews how much I love coming there. The people there are so good to me. I have a lot of support online, and when I'm in Poland with the national team, there's a lot of love shown. So I just want to give back to them. You know, I just want to. At the end of the day, I just want to, yeah, play and enjoy my football. You know, as a footballer, I want to play every game I can. I want to play with a smile on my face, try to enjoy, try to show the fans what I can do. And when you're not there, it's frustrating. Yeah. So I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it's good to not be with the national team. I want to be with the national team. I want to play in the big games. Obviously, I've said before in the Euros, I was very disappointed to not be there because I want to play in the biggest stages. I want to play in the big games because I feel like I can. You know, I play obviously a lot of games in the Premier League against really good opposition, and as a footballer playing in the Premier League, you want to obviously play for your country as well. And I've obviously been very lucky to do that in the past, and I want to continue to do that and play as many games for club and country as I can. Yeah.
In my opinion, you are representing a level which need a national team. Are you thinking about the reasons? Why is that? And if you are thinking, what are the answers? Because we have many discussions here in Poland. Maybe he's not speaking Polish. It's one of the reasons. Maybe other reason. Maybe it's personal. I don't know.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't really know. I think I don't really know, to be honest. All I can do is do my best on the pitch, you know, and I respect the coach. He's obviously, yeah, I feel like the coach has done well for the national team. The games that I've watched, I feel like we played really well, you know. So I feel like some results haven't been, some results for the performances, you know, I feel like we played really well and not had performances. Like I feel like against Scotland, I feel like we played really well. And yeah, obviously the coach has got the decision. He's picking the team, he picks the squad, and I can't do anything about that. All I can do is work hard and try and play well for my club and then get into the team, you know. And yeah, obviously, as I said then, it's frustrating to not be. But the manager has his right to have his own opinion and his own decision, and that's what it obviously is at the minute.
And how the footballer is feeling when he's watching the game in which he could play in the television. I saw the post on the Instagram where you were watching the game against Scotland. So what is the feeling?
Oh, it's annoying. I was sit there and watching it with I was on FaceTime to my friends watching it. And obviously before, when you hear the national anthem and stuff, it's like, oh, I really want to be there, you know, to play in the games. But yeah, obviously I can't be there. Obviously I couldn't be there because I had the injury as well. So whether I would have been there or not is a different conversation. But yeah, it's very frustrating to sit, especially when you have an injury, to watch it on TV is annoying, yeah.
We as a journalist, as a fans as well, have many worries about the national team. We won only one game from last 9. We were relegated to the division, from the Division A to the Division B of the Nations League. You said that you like the style, the way of play. What is your opinion about the shape, the form of the national team?
Jedziemy dobre koranko.
So you were infected as well, because it's the sentence that our coach is using.
Did I get the
You really want to return to the national team?
Jedziemy dobre koranko, yeah. Good pronunciation, yeah.
That's pretty nice, pretty nice. And how is your Polish? Because there were many questions from the fans. Is he progressing with Polish? And what about that?
Maybe now I've said that. Hopefully, I will be in consideration to get in the team. Yeah, no, it's obviously a difficult language. Yeah, it's very difficult. But I'm trying to pick little phrases and put them together, and hopefully, you never know. Huh?
You never know. Yeah, maybe in the near future it will be done. But coming back to the style of the Polish national team, it's strictly offensive. We want to create, we want to score goals, but in the same time we are conceding many goals. We were relegated. So you think that there is a lack of balance in the team?
To be honest, as I said then, I feel like we've actually played well, yeah. And I feel when you come up against tough opposition, it's sometimes difficult to like, for example, Portugal and stuff. Like, I feel like in the first half we defended really well, and sometimes like when the quality is so high, it's difficult to defend. Obviously, every team we want to defend as well as we can and attack as well as we can, and overall as a team we want to be better. But sometimes the opposition are good, and it's difficult at the highest level. You know, obviously as the national team we want to defend and keep clean sheets. And for me personally, as a defender, every time I play, I want to make sure the back four is strong and we're not conceding chances. But as I said then, for the likes against Portugal and stuff, it sometimes the quality overshines it, you know, and you have to sometimes deal with it, learn from it, watch clips, how to get better. And I feel like that's what we're doing, you know. I feel like the national team has a lot of progress, you know. I feel like we've made a lot of progress in the last year or two. I feel like the national team's definitely made progress watching the team. And obviously I feel like we can still make more progress. So yeah, maybe we're conceding more goals than we'd like to. But as I said, at the highest level, you're always going to concede chances and goals.
You debuted in the national team under coach Paulo Sousa, and he wanted to instill pretty the same thing in our national team, in my opinion, to be brave, to play offensively. It's comparable, the team of Paulo Sousa to the team of Michał Probierz. The idea is the same, or you are seeing differences?
It's difficult for me to say because I only joined towards the back. No, I only joined towards the back end of Sousa, so I didn't really have a spell with him. You know, I think I had one camp or two camp, maybe one or two. So it's not enough to sort of see like what the difference is. And I feel like every manager brings a different style and identity. You know, but as I said, I feel like the national team has made progress under the manager now. So yeah, I feel like obviously, as I said, the results maybe haven't gone with the performances because I feel like we've performed well, and I feel like there's been a lot of brave performances on the ball and trying to show what we can do. Yeah, but obviously it's hard for me to say what the difference is because I was with Paulo Sousa for a short time.
Yeah, that's true. Our coach often says that we are lacking something, but he can't tell us what we are lacking to get to the level that we wanted to be. In your opinion, because he said, for example, after the game against Scotland, that we were lacking of experience on the pitch. And I see you, and I think you have a experience because you are playing Premier League football, now Champions League football. So maybe it's a good solution.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I feel like I've played over nearly 150 games in the Premier League, so I'd say maybe a little bit of experience. But also I haven't been in the camp for a long time now. You know, is it nearly a year now? Maybe, I'm not sure.
You were last time in March. Estonia,
yeah. So just under a year, yeah. So yeah, I feel like the manager's the manager. He sort of knows what's best, you know. I think he's obviously said that they're lacking experience, and maybe that was the case, you know. But I feel like, as I said, we did play well in the last few games. So maybe if the situation went different in the game, maybe we wouldn't sit here and say it was the experience. So football is a game of fine margins, you know, like a lot of ups and downs and a lot of small things that could have been different. And obviously, yeah, maybe experience was one of them little things. Obviously, we didn't have Levy, which was a big loss. And yeah, maybe he was the experience we needed.
Yeah, after the game against Estonia, there was a final game of the playoffs against Wales, and many people in Poland were asking why Matty Cash didn't appear at the stadium in Cardiff.
In Cardiff?
Yeah,
no, you know why? Because I had the injury and I was in doing rehab, or I would have been there. I don't know if people would say, I don't know why people would say that. I was doing rehab to do everything to get back fit, you know, so that would have been the only reason. It wouldn't have been because I didn't want to support the team or anything. It was purely because I had the injury and I was trying to do everything I can, because sometimes I don't get home till 5, 6 p.m, you know, like from training. So I was so focused on to get fit and trying to be ready as quick as I can. That was the only thing. And I watched it on the game because I took the selfie on my phone. It was that, yeah.
You commented a post of Nikola Zalewski as well recently. You are surprised how fast he grew, and he is now like a leader of our team.
He's unbelievable. I think he's one of my favourite players to watch, you know. I'm not just saying it because he's my friend, but he is actually one of my favourite players. I was speaking to John McGinn today, obviously at Scotland, and he was just saying, Zalewski is really good. Like, he's saying how good he was. And I said, I know. I said, over the last year, he's progressed loads. And I'm very surprised that he doesn't play much in his club. But yeah, he's a top player, yeah.
In your eyes, you know him very well. Where is sailing? He's sailing, in your opinion?
He's still young, you know. I don't think, like, if you look at the progress he's made over the last year, his ceiling can go. He can for sure play in the Premier League, Nico. I think for sure. So yeah, if there's any Premier League scouts watching him, they need to sign him, because yeah, I feel for sure he's got more than enough quality to play in the Premier League. Yeah.
That is also a guy that you are missing the most from our national team, because I mentioned a comment of the Instagram and it sounded like I miss you, Nico. Where did this connection came from?
Yeah, he commented on my picture and I just said, I put it in Polish that I miss him. Just like a bit of fun, you know. We had a good connection. It was at the World Cup as well, you know. I feel like we had a good connection. We had a lot of bonding time when we was in Qatar. Obviously, we basically lived together for 3 weeks, you know, in the hotel. And yeah, he's just a good character. He's just like a bubbly character. I like being with him. He's a good guy. Yeah, and every time we went for dinner, it was always me and him sitting next to each other. And yeah, he was just, yeah, good to be around. He's a fun guy, yeah.
Who will make the greatest career? Zalewski, Urbański, or maybe Piątkowski, in your eyes, in your opinion?
3 good players, you know. Obviously, I played against Urbański, yeah. In the Champions League, he obviously was there. Yeah, he's good. Yeah, it's difficult to say, you know, because they're all really good. I'd probably say is that Nico. Yeah, I think Nico's. It's hard to say. They're all top players, but I think Nico at the minute is thriving. He's amazing. Yeah.
So if you have to recommend one player from the Polish national team to Aston Villa, it will be Nikola Zalewski.
Yeah, yeah, I think, yeah, probably, yeah. If we're talking about him being quality, yeah. I'd love to have Wielu as well.
Yeah, Wielu. I heard the interview with Mateusz Borek where you said that Zieliński is the best player with you were playing in the same team. So
yeah.
So yeah. I'm also in the big impression of his abilities, technical abilities for sure. Speaking about Aston Villa, you made a big step as a team in recent years. You thought when you came to the Aston Villa in 2020 that in 4 years you can play Champions League football?
I feel like when I signed for Villa, we were going through the process of like becoming better and like building like a stepping stone to progress, because the club is a massive club, you know. It's always had the backing from the owners, putting a lot of money into the club. And yeah, obviously ever since Unai came in, we had obviously Gerrard before, and then Unai came in and we finished 7th and into European football, and then obviously now Champions League. But yeah, it's happened so fast, you know, in 4 years to nearly get relegated to then finish in Champions League is fantastic. So maybe not. No, I probably didn't see us doing it so quickly. But as I said, when you have a manager like Unai, it's fantastic. He drives it to make sure that we all become better and get there.
Unai Emery is the best manager which you were working with in your career?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. He gives a lot of confidence to the players, you know, and that makes it good.
What you learn from him, from Unai Emery?
A lot of things, you know, not just as a player but as a professional as well. Just to read different situations in games, to be calm. Sometimes with previous managers or I watch football nowadays, if you lose, it's almost like so emotional and like players getting dropped and like so much talk and stuff. But it's almost like with Unai, if you lose, it's almost like you just stick in the same routine and just don't get too up and down. Just say like, continue in the same way, you know. And if you continue in the same way, you will have, for sure, you'll like have a good end, you know. So I think that's like every time we've had a little blip, he hasn't been too emotional, too up or down. He's just kept it the same. And I feel like in football nowadays, that doesn't happen enough. If players have bad games now, they're out the team. It's like at the highest level, it's difficult to play well all the time, you know? International and club, like, it's hard, it's difficult.
Yeah, you have many games in your calendar, but something special is for sure playing in the Champions League. You didn't appear in these 4 games, but how is to hear a Champions League anthem?
Yeah, hopefully it's coming soon. I've always had, like, with the Champions League, I had the injury, so I didn't play. And then, like, we had 3 games in 1 week, and obviously I played in the 2 league games, and obviously I didn't play in the Champions League, and I was like, oh. But it was like, yeah, hopefully it's coming. It's coming soon, hopefully, yeah.
And Juventus, it's a good occasion, yeah? What is your mood before this kind of the game?
Yeah, it'll be a great game. Obviously, we played Bayern Munich at home, and the atmosphere at Villa Park was amazing. So, yeah, I'm sure it'll be the same.
I asked you which players from Polish national team would you recommend to Aston Villa, and which player from Aston Villa will be so useful for the Polish national team? You have many of them in the team.
Yeah, that's a very good question. That's probably one of the best questions. Who would be good for the national team? I feel like maybe John McGinn, because he can play everywhere, you know? He'd be a reliable source if we ever need him on the left, the right, striker, defence. He's always there. John McGinn, yeah.
You have one of the best goalkeepers in the world in your team. I mean, Emiliano Martinez. He's as much crazy in the dressing room as he is sometimes at the pitch.
Yeah, he can be, yeah. His mindset on game day is different, you know? He becomes like an animal on game day, like no one's beating him. And yeah, I think it says that on the pitch. You can see that on the pitch as well.
One more thing, in general, you were playing with many great players. You picked the best, it was Zielinski, but could you pick the player with the biggest self-confidence or biggest ego?
I'd say Emi Martinez, yeah. For sure. I think his self-confidence and his belief in himself has got him to where he is today, yeah.
Yeah, great. Emi Martinez is a big person. Matty, I have also a few questions from our fans because I got it from X. It's they are interesting, sometimes funny, I think. So we can start with that as well.
Yeah.
So first of all, pierogi or schabowy?
Oh, pierogi. I like pierogi. I don't even know what schabowy is, but I say pierogi.
Pierogi, okay. One more about the snacks. Did you eat natural Polish honey? If yes, did you like it?
No, I've never tried Polish honey. Well, unless maybe when I come to Poland, I always drink green tea with honey. So I think I probably would have had the honey without realizing it was natural honey. Yeah. So
in general, do you like Do you like Polish food? So we are still in this subject. And what's your favorite Polish city?
I love Polish food. I love our chef Thomas is amazing. You know, he does the best food. So yeah, I think for the food that they do at the national team, I love the food. Yeah, and the favorite city.
Yeah, Polish city.
I haven't visited many cities there. I think. Where was the city we played against Sweden?
Against Sweden, Chorzów.
Chorzów, yeah, that city looked quite nice. But I also like Warsaw as well. Warsaw is obviously the main capital. It's nice.
Okay, next one. Our Polish women are the most beautiful in the world.
I need a Polish girlfriend for sure. I said in an interview before that if there's any Polish ladies that want me, and I had so many comments saying like, marry me. I was like, oh.
She could be helpful with Polish language as well, yeah?
She can cook me pierogi, she can do the language, and she can be beautiful as well.
Yeah, so full packet.
Yeah.
Full packet.
Yeah.
One more. When you visited Poland last time?
The last time I came to Poland
Yeah.
was probably, when I last was there, when I played last, yeah. I haven't been back since.
Next one is cash or card?
Oh, it's got to be cash, yeah. Can't be card. Even though I use card, but cash, the name. Cash by name.
What kind of the coach Unai Emery is outside the cameras?
Outside the cameras, the same. I don't think he even sees if the cameras are there, you know. I think he's so focused on football, he doesn't. He's just, yeah. I would say if I could describe him in one word, is probably demanding.
Demanding. It's a fine word, yeah, for a coach especially. How is your mood before the game against Juventus in the Champions League?
Yeah, obviously excited for it, you know. Obviously another Champions League game, and hopefully I can make my debut.
Do you sometimes watch Ekstraklasa, and who is the leader of Ekstraklasa?
What's that? What is that?
Ekstraklasa is the first tier in Poland.
Oh, no, I don't know. I don't watch much Polish TV.
Do you want to play at Ekstraklasa someday?
Yeah, maybe, yeah, if I get the opportunity.
At the end of your career, probably, because it's a lower level, a little lower level than Premier League. But you remember the game against Legia Warsaw, 2 games in Warsaw,
Yeah, it was good,
and in Birmingham. It was the last time we were speaking to each other. It was the same day when Michał Probierz was appointed as a national team coach.
Yeah, it was.
I'm not sure that you remember good. Yeah.
He was at the game. I met him after the game. Yeah.
Yeah. So in this subject, how did you like playing at Łazienkowska against Legia? It means the stadium, the Legia Stadium, the atmosphere of the Legia Stadium.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, the atmosphere was amazing. You know, it was it was difficult for us to play there. It was very the atmosphere was crazy. Legia are a good team as well. They were good last season when we played them. So at home was probably better for us, and at home for them was better for them. So it was difficult. Yeah.
Okay, Matty, we reached the final of our interview. Yeah. So thank you very much for your time. And
thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, and we are waiting for you to come to Poland in March. I think maybe.
Hopefully, I'm waiting as well.
Fingers crossed. Have a good night, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much.